Boom, let's get it.
I had to get my boy out of there. I feel like Moses.
Get it.
I knew he gave me a gift for the rap, and I knew I was already chosen. To my flesh that we gotta split. Just like the ocean. To my brother, I'm getting my strength through Christ, but I'm being like Hogan. All of my enemies coming with sticks and shows like they're part of a band. I just been building my house on a rock, 'cause my dog has feet in the sand. If you got me out of the bush, I'ma take out my shoes like here I am. Young boy rapping on 2-9-11, I told him it's part of the plan. 20 hours working a diamond, I'm swinging a minimum wage. I had to kill my sin, I felt like TK doing a race. Bible on me like a big stick, only thing I'm tucking in my waist. All of my brothers like K died when we putting away all the Drakes. My life was had another cross, boy, you would think I was rocking a flannel. I told him I'm stepping with Christ and he gave me the key like I played the piano. He a boy, he a family man, I've been feeling like Tony Soprano. Bible on me like a big Glock and I never running out of ammo. Exodus, I had to get my boy out of there. I feel like Moses. I knew he gave me a gift for the rap and I knew I was already chosen. To my flesh that we got.
Yeah, definitely chosen to do something. I know for sure that my purpose is bigger than me. Hello, folks. Pierre Nicholas here again. After a bit of a hiatus, I had to take a break after the 9/11 anniversary, where every single year I think about that era of my life. Not only did I survive physical death of 9/11, but also emotional tragedies such as the death of people that I worked with and the fact that my mom and sister died in that same era, all happening within 1 year. So, needless to say, it's always a traumatic anniversary because it brings me back to a deep personal time of tragedy. For me, it was local. For me, it was personal, as well as national. The entire country took a hit that day. I also took a bit of a break from the podcast to regroup after the Charlie Kirk shooting, where I realized that words definitely matter. Rhetoric matters. And venting outrage and profanity is not the solution to problems. As I continue to mature, I prevail within the mindset that made me create this podcast to begin with. Still, I have some bitter feelings about what's happening in the States, where I was born and raised, and currently I'm dealing with the reality and frustration of not being able to help right away. I mean, you have senators, city council members, judges, and House of Representative members, attorney generals, former FBI director, former national security advisor, getting indicted, arrested, the senator from California getting slammed to the ground like a gangbanger, common street hood. Wow, you have police officers getting arrested and accused of being illegal immigrants. Like, really? I mean, it's really bad right now. Former FBI Director Comey getting indicted, vindictive prosecution. So, frustrated is an understatement. Like, who the hell am I? Sitting thousands of miles away in a foreign country trying to collaborate with U.S. attorneys while federal troops are imposing their will on ordinary citizens on the brink of martial law and authoritarianism, dictatorship, little by little. I mean, with the House, the judiciary, and the executive branch, this demented, out of control, wannabe dictator. I mean, there are pretty much no guardrails. It's out of control. Turn on any news outlet, however you get your news, whether it's, social media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, right wing, left wing, doesn't matter where you go, you're going to see what's going on in the United States. Lots of people ask me, why do you even care? Well, I still have family and friends back in the States, and what's it to you? I mean, I was born and raised there. So some of the fondest memories of my life occurred there. I met my wife there. My children were born there. I remember bringing my kids home from the hospital. It occurred there. Many fond memories from childhood all the way up to adulthood. Graduating from university, I mean, of course, there are many bad memories as well. So, why do I tap into certain philosophies, such as former Navy SEAL David Goggins, who is also a graduate of the Army Ranger School? Here's a quote from a world renowned soccer athlete. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Pele. Uh, well, I love to coach and educate, which is something that I can be proud of, being a part of the development of people, lifting them up, not tearing them down. Next level development. So, why tap into someone like David Goggins? Let's explore, right? What do Navy SEALs, Olympic gold medalists, astronauts, top physicians, famous musicians, and successful entrepreneurs, what do they all have in common? The people we admire but secretly despise just a little bit. And if you fall into one of these categories, you might envy just a bit the others in that sector that outperform you. What do I mean by that? So it's evident that these high achieving individuals share a profound commitment to goal setting and relentless pursuit. That's one of the reasons why the game of American football is so influential in the development of people, young people, all the way from, like Pop Warner, JV, like semi pro, um, football back in the States. It's, goal setting, 11 guys on the same team. They have to work towards the same goal, whether it's defense or offense or special teams to get the job done. So, pretty much these high achieving people, they are masters at honing their focus, eliminating distractions, which is what I'm working on, and adhering to a structured routine that propels them toward their objectives. Again, if I make a mistake or I stumble and mumble, I'll just correct it and let's move on. Okay, so the essence lies in the discipline to establish clear, measurable goals and the unwavering dedication to executing them on a daily basis. These type of high achieving individuals understand that personal and professional growth demand discomfort. You got to get out of your comfort zone, and they willingly embrace it. It's also known as embracing the suck, right? They recognize the power of routines and rituals in shaping their success, acknowledging that it's not just about wanting change, but about cultivating the right systems for transformational leadership. The message is clear. Preparation and prioritization are the linchpins of achievement. It's not about waiting for the right circumstances, but about being prepared and equipped to meet the challenges head on, no matter what the situation, no excuses. High achieving individuals design a proven system that offers promises not just to elevate their performance, but to redefine the very landscape of success, empowering them to surpass their goals and dominate their battlefields. Take an example of a person like Johnny Kim. Uh, Jonathan Young Kim is his full name, and he's also a Navy SEAL. Uh, Lieutenant Commander, highly decorated combat veteran, Navy SEAL, naval flight surgeon, and aviator. He attended Harvard Medical School and is currently a NASA astronaut. Oh, by the way, he's only 39 and probably one of the most humble people on planet Earth. Yeah. Yes, he makes the rest of us look like pretty much lazy, misguided fools. Thanks a lot, Jonathan Young Kim. We're looking forward to you, someone like you, becoming president, because the guy that's in there right now is demented, deranged, delusional, completely detached from reality, lies. Every time he opens his mouth, it's a lie. So, how do people like Johnny create a world of discipline and focus that allows them to pave a path to greatness? Okay, so a taking uh, point leadership, right? Uh, they pretty much have business leaders worldwide, and all of whom exhibit the desire to level up in the following areas. Here are some of the top 10 traits, habits, and routines that high performers in the world all have in common. Uh, I'm trying to figure out what areas that I thrive in and where do I need to level up? Where do I need to ramp up and get better? But before we go there, here's a better question. Why listen to people who have no real life experience with adversity, living through danger and life struggles that most people would not survive? So I tapped into the philosophies of people like David Goggins and Mr. Kim. Wow. Uh, well, with David Goggins, it was about 14 years ago when I was facing astronomical odds to get things accomplished, like saving enough money to get married. Well, since my wife and I were struggling financially and trying to make it in an expensive New York City landscape, we didn't want to go to family for help. Well, we were living in my brother's basement uh, for about 6 months, trying to save up money. I thank him for that. We wanted to do it ourselves alone. So I tapped into Goggins for motivation when I applied to graduate school while saving to put money down on the mortgage for the house in Jersey, also while planning for a baby. Graduate school, mortgage, wedding. Well, no, let me put it in order. Wedding, graduate school, mortgage payment, down payment, and getting ready for a baby, planning for a baby. I would rather listen to a guy like David Goggins than all of the doubting Thomases and pessimists who tried to knock down all of my dreams every chance they got. I would rather listen to someone who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, who came back in one piece, and who was willing to share his mental strategies to lift and not knock people down. When I discovered David Goggins, I immediately gravitated to his philosophies because of the similar struggles and challenges that we both share as children and young adulthood. So he goes on to talk about resilience. The highest performers demonstrate extraordinary resilience. Navy SEALs undergo intense training and face extreme challenges. Olympians endure rigorous physical and mental preparation. And entrepreneurs, like myself, navigate the uncertainties and setbacks of building businesses. I had several businesses that worked very well and certain businesses that flopped flat on my face, losing money. Uh, I should say lost money, past tense. I worked out with a Navy SEAL once who taught me a few things about self defense that elevated my game exponentially in the few short months that I knew him in his presence. the same type of discipline, temperament, and self control like my brother, who is a sixth degree black belt in Taekwondo and is also a New York State Police detective. When I learn from these two is, you know, also in conjunction with what I learned from a Mr. Universe champion bodybuilder. What I learned from these people will stay with me for the rest of my natural life. Kudos to all of my family members as well, like my immediate family, mother, father, while he was still around, all of my coaches and mentors along the way, all of my professors, teachers, etc. I'm staying the hell away from advice from people who can't help me. Life is too short. What we need to do is we need to concentrate on people who can lift us up, people who can advise us, supporters, people who can teach us, experts in their field. That's one of the main reasons why I tapped into David Goggins. He curses a lot, but cursing is not the same as cursing at someone. There's a big difference, such as the word kulva in Polish, which is often used to help most people plan what to say next or highlight a certain point. It's like a pause. Um, I mean, I tap into him because of what he does in terms of teaching mental toughness, enabling, us to push past our limits, handle pressure, stay focused on our goals, even in difficult situations. I mentioned goal setting, setting specific, challenging, and here's the interesting part, achievable goals. A lot of people thought that I would not achieve what I did, you know, about 10 years ago, yeah, about 12 years ago. They they couldn't believe it because it did seem unattainable. I had people like my brother and other family members who I believe genuinely they just didn't want me to be disappointed and crushed. They thought my dreams and aspirations were a little bit uh, pie in the sky, like unattainable, unreachable, etc., and all the other synonyms that go along with that's it's not going to happen, right? So goal setting creates a roadmap to success, breaking down larger objectives into small, actionable steps. Then he goes on to talk about discipline and dedication, where high achieving individuals are highly disciplined and dedicated to their craft. We get a lot of distractions in life, and sometimes, certain individuals can, it will take years and years and years and years to build a reputation or gain some momentum, and just a few minutes to kind of like destroy it all. It happens where, you know, men succumb to the temptations of fornication, adultery. It happens with men, I guess, mostly than women, because women are loving staying home with the kids. I mean, women cheat also, but the bottom line is, I think, men are more susceptible to situations such as adultery. A man could spend years, 10, 15, 20 years building a life and a reputation, and then, just for a few minutes of pleasure, just destroy it all. So we all need to be very, very careful about the decisions that we make, because it takes a lifetime, to build a reputation, and just a few minutes to destroy it all. And then pretty much, rebuilding takes time. So high achieving people definitely adhere to strict training regimens, which is what I try to subscribe to, you practice consistently and maintain a strong work ethic. And this is all the way around. This goes with education, continuing education, um, family relationships, discipline and dedication. Not, yelling at our kids. I'm not a yeller. Actually, I'm kind of gullible. My kids get away with like murder. It's their mom, good cop, bad cop. They could pretty much get away with anything with me, which is not a good thing as well. And I'm working on it. I guess with all of my flaws, I I'm the fun dad, so I'm working on that. You have your routines and rituals that David Goggins talks about with high achieving people in their fields. All have very specific daily routines that begin with mindset preparation and fuel the discipline necessary for extreme focus. Time management is something that I have to work on. That's one of my worst areas, and it's not good. No matter how much I know, how proficient I am in certain areas, without excellent time management, it's really, really difficult to get to the next level. And relentless prioritization is also extremely important. That's what this is all about. It's about prioritizing what's important and just leaving the rest alone. Just let it go. You Adaptability is also extremely important. High achieving people excel in adapting to changing circumstances. That's why Navy SEALs must adapt to various environments. Olympians adjust to different competition conditions. And entrepreneurs, which I am proud to be in this category, because, like I mentioned earlier, some ventures did very well, others flopped, and I fell flat on my face. But entrepreneurs pivot their strategies in response to market changes. Things are always changing, constantly. The only um, uh, downside is that if you're not equipped to go with the changes, to actually manage the changes, that's where uh, that's the slippery slope. Also, teamwork and collaboration, despite the often individual nature of their pursuits, high achieving successful people understand the importance of teamwork and collaboration. Navy SEALs work closely as a unit. Olympians often train with coaches and teammates, and successful entrepreneurs and top physicians in medicine build strong teams and partnerships. Again, that's something that I will always remember about sports in general. It teaches you a lot about life. Then David Goggins goes on to talk about, in one of his lectures, mindset and visualization. They use mental rehearsal and visualization techniques to prepare for challenges every single day. Visualizing success and maintaining a positive mindset contribute to their performance and resilience. I always look at myself getting to the next level, no matter what it is, whether it's school, work, um, definitely, family, prioritizing, etc. Continuous improvement. These individuals, high achieving individuals, are committed to constant growth and improvement. They seek feedback, learn from mistakes, and are always looking for ways to enhance their skills and performance. Risk taking and innovation. Successful entrepreneurs, Navy SEALs in certain missions, and Olympians often embrace calculated risks. These habits are critical for all entrepreneurs who disrupt industries. They innovate, push boundaries, and explore uncharted territories in their respective fields. Um, wow, yeah, that's exactly what I tried to do on the last venture. Um, had some really good ideas involving unmanned aerial vehicles for search and rescue, oil fields. Wow. Yeah, I can go on, but I'll stop right there for now. I also realize that profanity can be used to make a point. David Goggins curses a lot, but cursing itself, like I mentioned before, is different from cursing at someone. I'll try to stay away from it. Of course, moving forward, I don't want to keep spewing a lot of profanity, but sometimes it's inevitable. So, the moral to this particular story and this episode concerning my comeback tour and my 30 30 30 quest is that I'm not done yet. A lot of people wrote me off like some type of accounting line item. Just write them off. Some people don't like my humor, but that's okay. Either people like you or they despise you. I can't control that. I'm only going to concentrate on the things and the elements of life that I can control, like saying hello to my neighbors, even though some of the neighbors who are flat out rude and extremely noisy. How ironic. The stereotype is that I'm the one who would be blasting the music, based on how I look and where I'm from, and constantly causing a nuisance. But I recently experienced the fact that people vandalize my car. I get the ugly, nasty, racist looks every single day, but I'm not going to fall down that rabbit hole again. Um, you know, the theories, the stereotypes. Let me just, I'm staying away from it. Misery loves company, and all we need to be is just kind and courteous to others, but guard your heart. It's inevitable that there are people out there that don't want to see you do well. They don't want to see you succeed. I mean, misery loves company, and um, that's a reality that we all must deal with. However, stick to your supporters, embrace your supporters, embrace the people who help you. Like I had some really, really good help recently with something that I was facing, and relationships are important. Build your relationships through trust, through kindness, through camaraderie, through through thick and thin, through time, spending time with the right people, people who care, people who matter. Um, Stay kind and under control, right? That's what this podcast is all about. Trying to help people, educate people, possibly helping. You know, the origin of this venture, like the origin and philosophy of this mission of just helping people one way or the other. Eventually, I'll figure out how to help, you know, get closer to what's happening in the States. I have a game plan. It's already in place. Collaborations are in place. I just needed to take a little bit of a break, a little hiatus. Again, it could take a lifetime to build a solid and decent reputation and only a few minutes to destroy it. So just be careful with your decisions. Life isn't fair sometimes, but resilience and perseverance is the only way out of tough situations. In summation, right, I'm not going to keep belly aching about society and the stereotypes and the racism and, what's going on in the States. Just do something about it. There's an old adage, actions speak louder than words. So I made certain decisions to better the lives of my family, and I put me last. That's why I'm thousands of miles away from something that I care about. But that's okay. I have flaws, right? I did it. I came here to Poland to help my family, right? I felt that my children would have a better life here. And based on what's going on in the States, we came uh, right before the COVID era, and wow, it could have been a blessing in disguise, not only helping my in-laws, my wife was close to her family, and she's doing the right thing. She's taking care of Babcia. Again, I have my flaws, like I still can't speak fluent Polish. Uh, which is a travesty because it could. have solved so many issues while living here in Poland. So again, moral to the story, just look in the mirror, folks. Change what you can, control what you can, and keep the faith no matter what. Faith, love, confidence, compassion, self control, and practice what you preach. Avoid hypocrisy, right? So I'm back. Let's buckle up. What's coming through this transmission is the truth and nothing but the truth. Hug your families and plan for tomorrow, but live for today. That's why Air Pierre was created. If you like the content and want to support this cause of education through information, solutions through actions, optimism over pessimism, you can send a donation. It's here on the site. Just click the support button. Thank you very much. I'm back. Let's just get it done. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. Be well, be safe, hug your families, keep your head on a swivel, watch what's going on around you. Peace.